Greetings, and welcome back again to the dark lands of Barovia, specifically the town of Vallaki. Last time, after having their daring confrontation with the Brevenants and Strahd on two fronts, they then dealt with the Burgomaster of Vallaki, who had assembled a group of people to set out and join the adventurers on their trip back to Vallaki to seek help wearing a wedding dress. They were then convinced otherwise by Sasha, and the group advanced on their own. They arrived at Vallaki with no trouble and split up. Sasha to fulfill his promise to Victor, and Siguror to gather supplies. While Sasha was able to fulfill his promise, it was not to Victor's pleasure, as he found himself unable to escape and unable to cope with the idea that escape was impossible, and swiftly made his exit. Siguror went to the supply shop and was told there's another group of people who hoarded a bunch of supplies that they had gotten from the ransacked manors, and shortly after, a generous, drunk man, very happy to see you, offered to show you what's up and show you where it is, because he's more than happy to do so. Being unable to find the dress at the Burgomaster's mansion in Vallaki, Sasha cast a spell to locate said dress. They were on their way to obtain that dress wherever they should wherever they should find it. And that is where we're going to start. Sasha's trip will be an easy one, at least as far as travel goes, because it is in town. Mm-hmm. He, and if I remember correctly, Crack and Irina, because Esmeralda had broken off to do some business of her own before you got to Vallaki, travel through the streets and eventually come to a humble wooden building with shades drawn.
Well, I was expecting some sort of sinister castle. A fortress. Sasha will step forward and rap his staff upon the door.
Sasha knocks.
Do you place some stuff?
Not unless you wanted to hide around, like, the side of the house.
Well, I'm gonna do that now, I guess.
It takes a little bit. There are some slow, dragging steps before the door, like, opens, but a little bit. And the eye of a man and the raspy voice of a man comes to the door. What is it?
Hello, I am Sasha. This is my companion Irina. And then he's gonna...
The eye shifts over, and then over where you were motioning, but not as long.
I'm looking for something that was taken from the Burgomaster's mansion. I have reason to believe that it is here.
Why, are you looking for anything we took from Fair Square?
I understand. But I have need of something of theirs.
Yeah, like darts a little bit.
And since the only reason the Burgomaster was deposed was because of our intervention in the first place, I believe that asking for this item should not trouble you too much. It is a dress, and beautiful as it might be, I do not think it quite fits your style, you see.
He seems to contemplate. Could I get a persuasion from you?
Sure.
I got 26 on stealth, by the way.
Alright.
You know, I'm going to use one of my portents. I got a 16.
He seems to consider something. she's got to be wetting something. You're a wizard, right?
I'm a wizard, not a dressmaker.
What's the difference? A wizard can do anything. And the door opens like a little more. You seem to lose some of his defensiveness. A wizard can do anything. Yeah, most of his head, a gnarled hand with some overgrown nails.
A wizard can do anything. Perhaps it would be best not to anger one.
The door closes and there's some more grumbling and some dragging footsteps, and you can hear some jostling of items, like a wood scraping and some metal on metal and a couple of clicks. There's about 5 minutes that goes by before the door opens again, and what was once a wedding dress, but is ripped and frayed, is shoved through the door. It's here, you bastard! The door slams.
Looking at it real quick, how ripped and tattered is it? Can I mend it back together using mending?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's just been roughly handled.
So there's no
somebody clearly half removed, half tore it off of wherever it was, and there's some stains on it, some dirt.
I will
grime,
look at it and
a little bit of
turn
blood.
to Irina before saying, and to think he was willing to give this to his daughter.
Likely he had no choice. Oh, I'm sorry. You were joking.
Well, we have acquired the dress. What now?
I suppose getting it restored?
I can do such a thing.
Damaged.
Yes. I'll cast mending on it. Just run my staff over it and knit it back together, basically. It's a cantrip, so I can cast it as many times as I need to until it's done, and then I'll get rid of the stains with prestidigitation.
Which is also a cantrip, right?
You mend it. You prestidigitize it.
By the way, did I hear this little exchange? Or was
Yeah.
that too far away?
You're a little round. You're around a corner, but you still heard it.
Well, break my stealth and I'll say apparently he's a tress mender though.
Very specific skill.
However, after cleaning it and restoring it, it's fine, but it does smell faintly of dirt.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, Strahd's bride also smells vaguely of corpse dirt as well. I think it will suit her nicely.
Hopefully the abbot won't mind. Not really sure what to make of him, to be honest.
He is insane. And powerful. Seems as if men of this type are of no short supply in Barovia.
It would seem not. Though the burgomaster here wasn't necessarily powerful in the same way.
That is true.
You would think being powerful would mean you would weather this world better.
I think with a certain amount of power comes the responsibility of those underneath you. And that can drive a man to madness as surely as anything else, I suppose. If you start to think of yourself as someone who must protect all these people, it weighs on you, does it not?
I would think. The father did seem to have difficulty. Though he didn't let it truly get to him, I don't. Well, I'll never know now. But it seemed like it. He seemed to be able to weather anything until his final days.
He sounds like a good man.
He was. I thought his trouble would be over once he was put to rest.
All the troubles will be over once we have destroyed the devil. You will not just be freeing your father, you will be freeing every man, woman, and yourself as well. And you'll have done it with your hands. Not many people get to do this. It is a rare opportunity to grab your destiny.
Yes. Yes, I think you're right. Elsewhere, you're being guided.
I believe we were going to the blacksmith first because he was going to go to the tavern to get a refill.
Well, like, he waits.
Okay. Just because I remember Sasha having a need of a bunch of daggers.
The blacksmith is curt, to say the least.
Oh, I thought that was his name.
Daggers? How many daggers? Or when you ask, it's like, how many?
10.
He walks over and to a bag that's got some copper smelling stains on them. He like rumbles through it and eventually like withdraws what you need. I won't be needing them anymore. Oh, it's not like I'm gonna give it away for free.
I would not expect a businessman to be frivolous with creations of his own making.
Oh, I didn't make them.
No.
No.
Pick one up and start
10 gold.
looking it over. For the lot?
He seems to have not like realized, and then goes, "No each." And then like side glances.
You do realize one dagger is worth 10 or 2. And since I gained proficiency with smith tools, I could actually look it over and attempt to basically like appraise these daggers of their quality, see if they're actually worth less or more.
Sure, go ahead.
What would that be?
Intelligence plus smith tools.
I wasn't sure, but that sounds right.
Appraising items is intelligence.
Okay. I still add proficiency?
Yeah. Because it's plus your smith tools.
Okay. Oh, that figures. Awesome.
That's hilarious.
That's a fucking 5.
There's some pretty basic information that like anybody would know, but you swear you learned like something a little deeper that's really cool and would totally unravel this, but like you can't quite remember. I mean, looking at them, you can tell some pretty obvious things. These are used, but apart from that, you can't glean any like super great information. You are aware in character that that's like too much, and his side glance gave away that like he's not super confident himself, but like I don't know, maybe.
And you yourself said you did not make these. Where did you get them?
Guards. Bunch were dead after the last time he showed up.
Did the town revolt against the guards?
Any who were loyal to the burgomaster.
Makes sense to me.
How about 5?
disarray does his shop look to be?
It looks to be okay. Like, maybe it could be a little cleaner, but
There's a blacksmith.
he's okay.
Would you pay this much for weapons that you did not make?
Yes.
I'm gonna roll insight. Like,
He's
what?
line up.
hey, fucking, I don't. Okay, that's 20.
He doesn't believe that you're gonna go for this.
You know, you have probably heard of us. We are the ones that eventually led to the downfall of your tyrant.
The guy who offered to guide you also says, he's right, you know, it's them. Not like there are very many people like him walking around. You should just give it to him. What's the harm?
Whenever he glances away, so has he been looking at the guy?
No.
Okay. Okay. I'm just.
The blacksmith goes, the guy with you says, like, leans into you and whispers, but doesn't actually try to conceal it. It's like, hey, just push him a little, you can get it for free. He's got a glass jaw.
Just hit him?
The
He doesn't
blacksmith
look like a
seems
priest.
a little startled at this advice, and does his best to keep it cool, but clearly not.
I don't know this guy. I've never met him. He's trying to screw me over. And for things he didn't create.
We're off dead vines.
Intimidate.
Marcus
Yes.
Watson.
I think I will roll intimidate, maybe not necessarily for free. But I will not be paying as much as that is far too much for a blacksmith to be selling tools that he did not make. Instead, no better than a grave robber. What price do you think is really appropriate?
He begins sweating. $10 for the whole lot?
No, I'm not just gonna.
And he nudges he nudges a dagger, because he's gonna nudge a pile of daggers, but it still means the same thing.
That's good. That's a steal.
Fair. Was there anything else that you were looking for?
Spare set of smith's tools.
Because out of character, he surrenders that to you pretty quickly.
Okay. I will take that pricing off because I know they are not cheap.
They're like 30 gold or something like that.
Okay. I believe that is all I need.
Once your business has been concluded, your guide says, Could have gotten him for free. Bet he would have given you anything you wanted.
In all honesty, from what we have come across, there isn't much that we need from the town. In our travels, we have gotten what we've needed so far. Except from what you seem to be offering.
It's no reason to not get more. But if that's how you want to roll, it's fine. Yeah. Like I said, I'd be more than happy to guide you. So I do want to say, much like that blacksmith, they have a penchant to try to rip people off. Now you seem like they kind of, as you guys are walking, says you both seem like smart guys. I'm sure you can handle something like that, but you also seem like honest folks. Am I correct?
Perhaps.
Ismark says, of course. He says, now you see, honest people get cheated really easily. I mean, you were lucky. I was there to help you with the blacksmith, but you might not be so lucky next time. So, how about I go with you, like I enter in with you, but you give some of your cash to me. So if they ask you how much you got, you can truthfully say how much you got. Hell, if you're really poor and heroes, they might even be able to get a deal.
That sounds good to me. I think I will be fine in that department.
If you say so. What about you? And he points to his market, like looks to you and says, I think I'll be fine as well. And he says, okay, fine. So I guess now's a good time to talk about payment, because he said, for money, I'd show you where they are, and we're doing that right now. Wouldn't want you to, you wouldn't run off without giving me my due.
Those that prove themselves to be able to provide the service they claim to get what they deserve.
Alright, but how much is that? And don't try to rip me off. I know you guys are pretty loaded. And there aren't exactly a whole lot. You said it yourself. There aren't really a whole lot of things that you need to buy from towns, which means you can probably spare a little more. Especially since I'm here forever. I mean, we all are, but, well, maybe.
So you are from this town originally?
Yeah, more or less. You start making your way towards, the outskirts of, Vallaki. A path that you have not taken before. But you're not, at woods or anything yet.
Yeah. So while we're going, I'm basically just going to, if his mark is to one side, just reach into one of the pouches, nudge him a little bit, and dangle the whistle, or the signal whistle that I made sure we all have, just out of the pocket for a second, and tuck it back. Basically give him a signal of be prepared. Because it's just the two of us.
He seems to notice. Eventually you are in front of what appears to be a ransacked mansion.
The Burgomasters?
No.
The lady.
It's a place that you haven't been to.
A tower.
He says, alright, it's around the back. I'm gonna introduce you because I care about you. But I did show you to where we need to be, and I think it's fair to ask for my money now.
He was carrying a decent amount of bottles and stuff from the tavern, right?
Yeah. Though they are now empty.
I'll pull out 5 gold and hand to him. That should be enough to fill the bottles And once all is said and done, and we are sure nothing happens,
He looks at the 5 gold.
there will be more.
Kind of stingy. You guys are rolling it, aren't you? Like, what else are you going to use it for?
True. People in this town and on this land have taken advantage of us before. I will not allow that to happen again. From anyone.
You're awfully distrusting for a hero. But, fine. Anyway, and he leads you around towards what appears to be a cellar door. There are a number of townsfolk who set up like at the bottom down here, and that's why we're here. Might be a little weird to set up shop underneath this place, but what can you say? He leans over and like opens the cellar door and says, "If you come this way," he goes down.
Now, I'm going to make sure he goes down first. I'm also going to make sure Ismark is in front of me, not behind. So he's like in the middle.
Okay.
Because I don't know what could come up from behind.
As you're walking down, he says, "This place, I bet it's seen a lot of stuff. It's pretty terrible. One of the other noble people, other noble families, used to live up there until you guys got rid of them.
Lady Watcher.
And I don't know if you got to see the sights. Though the land is cursed, may the dead rest in this place." You know what I mean?
I'm just going to stay quiet. Yeah.
As he walks, he comes to like another door. At the end of this basement chamber that you're currently in, and he knocks on the door, and you hear like stirring from inside. The door flies open, and there's a man. Older, like maybe in his 60s, bald. He's got funny looking eyes that are like a little buggy. He's got like plain clothing. But it is noticeable that he is armed. He's got like a dagger at his side. And he looks, "Who are you? Why are you down here? What's going on?" And as he scans, your guy steps forward and says, "Greetings. There are some travelers. The travelers from before who liberated this place. They're looking for supplies, and you're willing to deal with anybody looking for supplies, right?" And the guy goes, "Yes, I remember."
Now, no, it isn't just by how you're saying. While they're having a conversation, I'm going to be wanting to roll insight to like see if they're like basically talking to each other in like, code.
This is so
Basically.
Sure.
obviously a trap.
Oh, no,
Jesus Christ!
see, I'm
What- what-
secretly hoping for that a little bit, and then like snuffing out people that should not be.
It's 2 1s in a row.
Yes, it is. That is a 5.
It does.
I did not gain an advantage. Insight to gain advantage. Other shit.
You are suspicious because you're already suspicious. You don't find anything that makes you feel justified in immediately cutting the chase outside of what you can see and hear with your eyes and ears.
Seems legit.
Whether or not you go along with it is your choice. I am an advocate of you. Yeah, but I'm an advocate of also you see what's going on. You don't need to roll a good insight to feel like I'm suspicious.
Oh no, that's just my default ideal. I'm suspicious of new people.
And not to make fun of you, but here I go. You could have fooled me. Thankfully, this is a perfectly innocent setup, as is made evidenced by the man like making way, and like as he makes way, you can see that there are like 5 other people in the room beyond who are like sitting in chairs, and they like are turned looking at what's going on. The man says, "Travelers, the ones who freed this town, they have come for supplies." The others nod. The man, the guy who guided you, says, "Yes, they have. And I made sure that they found you." And he, motions.
Like he's motioning for.
No, for,
Oh, okay.
the way has been made open for you to
Oh,
enter,
okay.
and he doesn't want to, cut you off.
Yes. We have heard that there are people that have come into more supply than
Well,
others.
step inside. They can't hear you from out here. That man has, but I'm sure their stashes are inside. Never bought from here.
After you.
Okay. He steps in.
Have his mark. And I will step in, but immediately look to the other side of the door.
Okay. There's nobody, hiding behind the door. You're free to enter and engage in trade. I'll be back to you.
Yeah.
In the meantime,
I will turn to Irina and say, well, what now? Should we go looking for Victor? Or perhaps his supplier?
It might be smarter to look for his supplier.
Yes. Okay. You are right.
If he wants to escape, he might be there too.
That's true. Perhaps.
Though Victor did speak as if he did not know if his supplier was alive or dead.
Perhaps we should look for the supplies then, yes?
No.
If he is going for more, I will cast Detect Object on the supplies that you use to cast Teleportation Circle. Figure they probably have some of those. Or you know what? What's more likely?
There's another high level spell that you saw in Blood in this book. He already has the supplies for it.
I will cast Locate Object on Powdered Diamond. Since I know he keeps a glyph of warding on his door.
And what is the range?
1,000 feet.
Okay.
Pretty significant part of the town. I can also hold it up for an hour so I can just walk around town.
You do so, and you pick up on a signature outside of town, in the direction of the Vistani encampment, but much closer to the town.
Strange. It's on the outskirts of town.
Yep.
No? Let us go.
You three walk.
Oh, they have horses, don't they? We got some horses from the burgomaster of Kresik, right?
4, I think.
So if they have horses, I'll summon my Phantom Steed and we'll ride there. Might as well, go faster than slower.
I forget the exact division of horses, but I know at least one person probably has a horse with you guys.
Yeah, Croc probably
You can
has his
settle.
own horse, and Irina can ride with me if we have extra. I know we gave one horse to Esmeralda, and they probably have their own horses.
No, she left it and walked off.
I thought she took a horse.
I think she walked, but I'd have to double check.
Whatever. We either have enough horses or we don't.
You were able to make your way without difficulty to the outskirts of town, and then to a tiny bit, just where the forest begins. This puts you face to face with a somewhat surprised and frightened face, as his head turns like his tossing hair reveals that his ears have been cut, and he possesses elven features. You are looking at Casimir, the Dusk Elf, from the Vistani camp.
Casimir, what just happened?
How did you find me? I thought I was in. I matters not. You live.
Of course I live. Strahd is not capable of disposing of me so easily.
It would seem so. Quite a great deal. Quite a great deal indeed. I had feared that it is good we've run into each other. It is very good. I was afraid.
What has happened to you?
Hmm?
What has happened to you? And I will motion towards his bleeding ear.
It's not bleeding.
Oh, I thought
It's
it
Like cut
It's
off.
cut, but like it's old.
Oh, sorry. I thought it sounded like he was freshly cut.
It did.
Like somebody
That's-
cut off his ear, or like
Yeah, I was like,
trimmed him to human
okay.
ears.
I will say.
I don't think you saw it like the first time.
Why
we
are
met
you
him,
away
though.
from the camp?
I did not think I would get another opportunity to speak to you. The camp, all Vistani, they are out for blood. Yours, your groups. There's rumors that you have offended the devil something fierce, and you've lost them one of their own. Maybe more. I can't be sure. While I trust in your ability, I began to grow fearful for myself as well. It is no secret that I was
What of,
interested in helping you, or
what of the other Dusk Elves? Will the Vistani kill them?
I don't think so. It was Strahd's will that they be watched over. Unless he calls for their death specifically, I think they should be safe. I had wished to stay behind. I am worried about them, but I am more worried about you.
We returned to the Lackey in order to obtain you. Once we had completed our other tasks around town, we are ready to journey to the Amber Temple. And in fact, I found a shortcut.
That's wonderful.
Yes, I can take us there immediately. But we must obtain first
You won't have to wait much longer.
rare chalks and inks. I need supplies for a teleportation circle. I know the location of a teleportation circle within the Amber Temple, but I do not have the material components to cast the spell.
I think I should be able to help you. Yes, I should. I should.
There is someone within this town who has access to spell components. The burgomaster's son, Victor, was purchasing from them through one of his servants. I do not know if he still lives, but if his supplies are here, we must find them. I have cast a spell of divination upon them, which is what led me to you. You wouldn't happen. Did the spell lead me directly to him?
Yes,
I take it you have powdered diamond upon your person.
I do. I made sure to grab everything I might need. I need to be ready. You said there's a boy who purchases components?
From someone in this town. He has a supply.
I think I may be able to solve part of the mystery. I know that there are some portion of Vistani who, when they go out, were bade to come back with things of that nature. Not just for myself, but
Fuck me.
they also seem to believe they were worth money. Since it was typically things that were actually valuable, like diamonds, I thought perhaps it was a luxury purchase for the burgomaster, maybe, or the lady here.
If his supplier is the Vistani, are there any more components at the camp?
No, I grabbed everything I could. Or no, he doesn't say could. He says I grabbed everything and left. I wanted to be as prepared as I possibly could.
Then I will have need of these supplies.
Anything. You must not fail.
Any inks you have as well, I will have need of.
They've not gone out in a while, so I do not have a wealth to share. But anything I have, in service of her, in service of our goal, it is yours.
Right. Okay. Well, then I suppose, Irina, Krak, we must find the others and travel to the Amber Temple. Do you possess the components for a teleportation circle?
I do.
Do you have enough for at least 2?
Oh, the room.
It's 50 gold worth of rare chalks and inks from each casting a teleportation circle. It is consumed on use.
Is it 50 gold worth of chalk and 50 gold worth of
No, it's a 50 gold. Excuse me, 50 gold total of combined rare chalks and inks to cast teleportation circle.
I only stopped because I realized.
So hand me the player's
I
name, please.
realized that technically, not technically, you actually got 2 pings, and the first one is this guy. The other ping is like in town.
Okay, so there is powdered diamond in town. I want to go check that out.
He volunteered the information that he already gave you, but I kind of forgot about something. And he says too, I think so. And he like pulls out and like starts rummaging in like a medium-sized sack.
Let me look it over.
I think so. Yes, it should. And of course,
I will need any powdered diamond you have as well. It's for other.
It's just for things.
Oh, David knows it's for things.
What sort of things? What are you going to do with this?
other things.
You'll see.
You say. Casimir is a little curious, but he's not going to press you on it if you don't.
Consider
share.
it part of my payment, and for your own safety, it is perhaps best you do not know of the specifics, yes?
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so he has 2 casts worth of teleportation circle components.
He has just enough.
Well, that can get us to...
In addition to a few other
How many
components.
people can you teleport with teleportation circle?
I can teleport everyone with teleportation circle,
Okay.
and I can get us...
Out if we need.
I can get us to the Amber Temple, and then I can get us from the Amber Temple to Strahd's Castle. But I won't be able to get us out. So...
Well, I mean, the next time we go to Strahd's Castle, it's probably going to be the last.
Yeah, but if we wanted to get the skull and bring it back before we fought Strahd to the death, I won't be able to.
You could
Because
try.
my original plan was to sneak inside and then teleportation circle back to Vallaki with the skull. Because I can ritual cast Tensor's floating disc to lift the skull up. If I went in by myself with invisibility...
We could do that with his gem torch altar. Because one of them leads
I
to the town next to it.
am assuming that those iron golems will be set to attack us the second we step into that room. Because why wouldn't he? He knows we know about the torches. We were down in the crypt. He knows that. Because she saw us down there. In order to get to the crypt, we had to pass by the torches.
We wouldn't have to fight them. We would just need to get to the pedestal, grab the gem, toss it in, and jump in. I don't think the golems would follow us.
A, they might, and B, those golems are insanely dangerous.
Yeah, who's to say once they activate it starts this?
Anyway.
It is likely that Strahd has made preparations. However,
And that's
it is
assuming
true
he
that those
didn't-
preparations don't need to stop you from exploiting it.
I'm just saying it's risky.
He's planning on us going, so we just need to plan around.
Also,
his
my
planning
original
of us
plan
making
was to
plans.
go in by myself, using invisibility, taking the skull, and leaving with the teleportation circle, minimizing the chance of being found.
I would have also appraised you of all the spells that Strahd seemed to cast to basically help increase our knowledge of everything.
Right.
Because we know he can cast sleep, and he can buff himself. Something.
Okay, so I will say, additionally, I found another source. I have something else I must tend to in town. We should also find Ismark and Siguror.
Ah, the rest of your group. Yes. We must leave as soon as we can. There's no telling whether or not we will be found.
So I know where the powder diamond is.
Yeah.
If I were to turn it off and cast another spell, would I know where the powder diamond is still? Like does it give me, since I'm within range of it, do I know the point and can go there even if the spell's not active?
Yeah.
Okay. Then
As
I
long
will.
as like the source of it doesn't move or it's not moved.
Well, I'll concentrate on it for like a couple seconds. Is it moving or is it static?
You know, it's moving, but like a tiny bit, like a couple feet, and then a foot, and then like maybe 3 feet, and it's still.
I will then cast.
You definitely have like the memory of okay, it's here.
And it seems
I
to
will
go in
then
this
cast
direction.
locate creature on Siguror.
Okay.
I'll use a 3rd level slot, giving me back one of my 2nd level slots. Because I do not have a 3rd level slot. So before I cast that, I cast this.
You'll probably pick up on it.
Bunch of sheet keeping stuff. Don't worry about it.
But I am curious what the range is on locate creature.
It should be 1,000 feet, same as.
Locate object and creature, basically the same spell, just for inanimate.
Well, let me
and-
look. Because I'm right here. Yeah, 1,000 feet. Creature's moving out of the direction of its movement.
Well, then you know. Siguror is.
I cannot locate them if at least 10 feet of running water is between me and him. So, like, if there's a river between us, I can't locate him.
Interesting.
That's an odd restriction.
You know that Siguror, according to your spell, is also on the outskirts of town, but like a little ways away.
Not in the same place the diamond is?
No.
Okay. Let us go to... I found Siguror. Let us go.
Yeah,
Casimir, will you be joining us, or will you...
now that I've been found, and he like pulls him and like tries to hug his hood close to him. Now that I've been found, I fear to be found again. I will be.
Alright. Let's be on then.
He joins you, and you are on. Meanwhile, Siguror and Ismark are in a room with 6 people, not including their guide. 6 people appear to be townsfolk, in that they're fairly plainly dressed. They're seated in chairs. They all have books on their laps, except for the one that stood and greeted you. That man like has a book that's like on a table. They all sit around an inscription that is scrawled on the floor, though there's a table on top of it at the moment. So its exact shape is obscured. It's also got some writing around it.
Would I happen to recognize it at all with my languages? It's Common, Minotaur, Dwarven, and Giant.
No.
Okay. Do all the books they're reading look the same?
Yes.
Huh. And they're all armed.
Scanning over them, they all appear to be armed with daggers.
Okay. But nothing major that I can see.
A woman says, "It is very good that you have been guided to us. We were quite afraid, should you ever return, that we would miss you."
Oh, and why is that?
There is a younger man who says, "Because it would be shameful if we could not repay the kindness that your group visited upon this place."
Do they look familiar at all?
You think you might have seen one of them, like, in town.
But what I mean is, like, they don't look like they were, like, any of them may have potentially been servants of the manor.
Could you roll me an intelligence check real quick?
You. That's better. 13.
It is as an older woman rises up and says, "We are very blessed that we have been given this opportunity." And you recognize her. She's got like short, like reddish hair that's kind of faded. She was like one of a number of townspeople that showed up with Lady Watcher when it initially popped off. Though she's looking, baby, a little worse for wear now. Everyone in the circle like stands up. Your guide says, "Well, I'm more than happy to bring people together," and takes some steps back as the group of people prepare to attack.
Alright.
Dope.
That's kind of what I was figuring was going to happen. I didn't expect, like... It makes sense in retrospect. Followers of one of the two. Particularly Lady Watcher.
It's a bummer I'm not there. You think they'd want to kill me the most. Considering I'm the one who
You
killed...
killed Lady Watcher, I killed the Burgomaster.
You guys didn't even... I, like, soloed Lady Watcher, if y'all
And, like,
remember.
most of her guards.
We had a spellcasting duel. And I...
Was it Fireball?
whooped her
Or
ass.
was
No. Dragon's Breath.
Right.
I didn't have Fireball at that time. You were level 4 when she died.
Spoilers, they want all of you.
Yeah.
Even the one that wasn't there.
That's true. You weren't even there.
You get a little bit of discussion. He's a traveler, but is he with them? I think.
I mean, we've seen a lot of travelers.
I mean,
We also gotta get that Greyla. Yep.
yeah, but do they?
How big is the space that we're in? Like a
He's
ceiling
drawing it
wise?
right now. Oh, no.
Ceiling wise. You're working with 25 feet of space.
Okay. How tall are large creatures usually?
You can fit within a 25-foot space.
Oh.
Now would be a good time to roll initiative.
Okay.
And damn, I'm gonna move 30 feet. I'm gonna double move on this turn to try to get to the manor. Ah, my turn's over. Shucks. I'm coming.
Sasha! Sasha! So our guide doesn't draw a weapon?
No.
Okay.
He stepped back, away, and it appears he's going to leave.
Okay. I'll find them later.
Oh, fuck.
What did Siguror get?
I got a 19.
The woman with the faded red hair shouts, "They're the ones responsible for the mistress's destruction, and they shall die for it."
Okay, now I have no fucking harpings about fucking killing and take these people down. They are followers.
I wish we got a fight.
She then casts
We
a
just
spell.
not casting it.
She casts a spell. She casts a spell at Siguror. I want a will save from you.
Damn it.
David, disintegrate's not a will save.
Almost. Fuck you. That is a 2.
Wow.
Fucking, I'm not too bright. I'm not dumb, but I'm not too bright.
Wisdom isn't intelligence, so you aren't too bright. But that's not about here.
They're all 11. They're not bad.
I was more talking about your dice select.
The lady managed to use her mystic energy to constrict you in place as you are paralyzed.
What a bitch. Oh. Oh, okay.
This is gonna be good.
Yeah, he's smart.
It then becomes Sigurd's turn, so no action, but at the end of your turn you get to save again.
I get no action. Do I not get a turn?
You get a save at the end of your turn, so your turn happens, but you're paralyzed.
Okay, so I can't activate rage.
No.
I don't think so.
Okay. Two.
This is amazing.
You struggle against her wicked energies.
You're gonna get stabbed to
Did you
death.
like other dice?
Ineffectively so. Yeah, should be fine.
This is already hilarious.
New Christmas gift. New dice.
Mm.
Break yours with a hammer.
There is a second enemy who, being right near you, decides, you know what, why not? Then stabs you.
Does he have advantage due to me being paralyzed?
Yeah. Okay. You think it just automatically hits, but no.
You know, I did always think that that's a little weird. Like, yeah, I mean, I guess they just don't want things that just auto
You
hit.
don't have an AC that's higher than 20, right?
No, 17.
You shouldn't be counting your shield in that because you're paralyzed.
Oh, that doesn't count anymore?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Just your armor.
15. Even better for me.
You are stabbed for 10 damage by the middle-aged man who met you at the door. After the first stab, he draws it back and gets a little excited, and the second stab misses. He's just kind of in the moment.
This is a big day for them.
It then becomes Ismark's turn. Who moves to assault the cultists who worked her magic against you. Now he's gonna make some attacks.
Good man.
Strike him. strikes into her twice, harming her. She manages to maintain her concentration, though she is significantly harmed.
He is using the magical weapon we gave him, right?
Yeah.
Goodness.
There is a younger man who points at Ismark with purpose and commands him, drop. Points at his weapon.
God.
Nice.
I mean, maybe he's got this one. I mean, the last thing he had to make a save was against Strahd.
Ismark is not taken in by this vile power and refuses to do so, making him the target of 2 more attacks as a scalding black flame rains from the sky twice.
What? What spell is that?
It bears some resemblance to something you've seen Grayla do before.
Huh. Just kind of a fucked up version.
Even worse, Ismark seems a little taken off guard by this and is harmed significantly by the 2 people that rain fire upon him. But, despite significant damage, he is still here. Now I'm going to switch over to the other group, who is headed in your direction.
Yeah, I've got to get there and see how Fireburn Ismark has.
I guess that's true. As you walk,
Right.
as you ride, Crack hears something. It's like, it's a twig snap, which isn't that weird out here, but it's like kind of far.
Direction.
To your left.
I'll look down the way from them. Or is it? Oh,
Well, you can do whatever you want. I just told you what happened.
Unless there's bushes in my way. Motherfucker. That was 18, now it's a fucking 10.
Well, when you use your passive, it's higher, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, but that's up to David. I leave that up to David. My passive was 14.
Well, his passive was already in play.
Yeah.
That's how I heard the twig snap.
Yeah,
They rolled stealth against his passive perception. He heard the twig snap because the stealth was higher than mine and Irina's, but lower than his. So he doesn't get to use it when he turns to actively look for it.
Yeah, right.
I suppose that would make sense. Fucking. You look around a little bit. You don't see anything.
I'll say character. Heard a noise from my left.
I will
Guess
turn
your
and
ass.
ask.
Nice? What nice?
The twig snap. Please don't sound.
Whoever it is, reveal yourself. I am in no mood.
You were met with silence.
Here's the response.
Alright. You guys really want to fucking play that way? I cast Detect Thoughts. And then I scan around for anyone being invisible.
What's Just out of curiosity, what's the range? Like, I'm sure you got it.
And I'll move closer to the bush if I have to. Out of these stealthy pieces of shit. .30 feet, but I will move up to the bush, so that the bush is within 30 feet. I have 100-foot movement on the horse, so I can pretty easily, unless the bush is fairly far off, I can pretty easily get up to it.
You detect some thoughts. Somebody's thinking, very careful. Gotta be very careful now. I'm dead if they find me.
So I think what I'm
And you
detecting
also
are
like know where
thoughts.
they are,
Okay.
like logically.
And I detect. Do I detect the thoughts of multiple people or just one person?
Just one person that's not the people you were with.
Okay.
Casimir's concerned about being found.
Right.
Out of curiosity, can he distinguish who it is if he haven't heard the voice before? I'm just curious.
Possibly. Say that nothing about these thoughts are distinct enough to stick out to you as somebody you know.
Okay. I will turn and look exactly at where that person is, even though I don't know the exact position, but I know the direction the thought's coming from. And I will say, well, I have found you. Now reveal yourself before I blow you away.
You get a panic thought of shit, and outside of thought, there's some immediate bush rustling as whoever it is makes a break for it.
I follow them. Are they faster than my super speed ghost horse?
No.
Okay.
I'm just telling you what to do.
Alright, that's fair. Sorry. This guy's getting on my nerves.
What's more, there's not like a super lot of bush cover where you are, so it pretty immediately is revealed that you and your comrades, because they're gonna follow you, are chasing after a child, maybe 12. It's a girl. It's got like long black hair, dusty clothing.
Are they responding?
No.
Oh, right. Or, sorry.
The same character. It's just a journal.
I'm gonna move to cut her off with the horse, and I will say, stop it. We are not going to hurt you. Who are you and why are you spying on us?
You attempt to cut off, they're gonna try to outmaneuver you.
Okay, so what do you want?
I'm just gonna take an unmodified roll, as they are. Actually, there's no animal handling skill anymore, right?
There is. Do you want an animal handling skill roll?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'm just gonna make a dex roll for this kid.
$22. Using one of my luckies.
Damn.
Yeah.
No, I mean, on the other side, I was like, I rolled a 20. How crazy is that? But no. This child is not unnaturally nimble, but incredibly nimble, and attempts to pull some kind of stop-go accelerate maneuver, like going into a slide, kind of artificially trying to like
She tries
stop
to
it.
double back ghost me.
Kind of.
Okay.
Which looks almost as incredible as you, I would say seemingly, but it's not seemingly. Actually, like, knowing in advance and, like, cutting off what somebody on the outer side would go, there's no way that you could have known that was coming. It's amazing. He's a wizard of some kind.
He's some sort of future seer, magic person.
That is reading their mind.
Dotting, but just barely, the child's escape. At least for the moment. Cut off. You get to say what you want to say. The kid is clearly attempting to calculate a way out as you were speaking, but they haven't started to move yet. They're looking, of course, to the side. Some your other comments catching up clearly. That's the thing. If detect thoughts is still up, then you get won't be good if I get caught. He won't like it.
Who won't like it?
You her head answers the question pretty quickly, and it's my dad, but you. I'm thinking of a good way of describing it because it's not something she explicitly thinks, and I'm not gonna. You get my dad, but she no one.
Who is your father? Has he sent you?
You get thoughts about how her father is part of some kind of order that is loyal to Strahd and formerly headed by Lady Watcher, but out loud. She attempts to push off and bolt, but not only can you do something about it, but by this point you and the others are within arm's reach of her as well.
And if you guys had a strength score, you could just.
Clearly a strength score is not the only solution.
No.
I cast Wall of Force. No.
That is excessive!
Fuck!
Boy, does the land of Barovia punch above your weight class, even if you're in NPC. Wall of Force. I'm a child.
Hey,
With a scroll of descent.
Oh shit!
That'd be really silly, but
Sasha gets Omar.
She has no dagger or weapon or
she doesn't appear to.
That's going right up for what expression is.
Yeah, sure. He's not as strong as you are, so I'm going to roll. You probably got her.
I mean, she's a child. She might roll with disadvantage.
or just have a negative to strength.
Yeah.
Maybe.
She's not on that athletics check.
Okay. She attempts to bolt, but that's not gonna happen. And you're able to grab her. She's let go of me. See you.
No.
Struggle.
I will say again. Where is your father? Why is he loyal to Strahd?
This merits thoughts. This merits thoughts that actually match her response. She stops struggling briefly to go, well, he's the lord of this land, ain't he?
Where is he? Your father.
She starts to think of the castle or whatever. And when you're correct, and she says the castle as you're revising your answer, and it kind of overlaps a little bit. You get a picture of what appears to be some type of basement or cellar. There's a table. There's an inscription underneath that table and some chairs.
Which direction?
You get a broader picture of some type of manor. That's you recognize kind of the foliage. It's here, but it's not a place you recognize. You haven't been.
Well, I asked her which direction.
She says, I'm not telling you anything. You get a vague direction.
Is it the same direction where Siguror was?
Yeah.
Okay. And I was like, her father has Siguror. We must hurry. Crack, bring the girl with us. We will see if we can end this with bloodshed.
But no, let me go.
I'm not going anywhere. He's not with us.
Thought-wise, she has no idea of how to deal with the Birdman.
Kidnapping little girls. We're so heroic, you guys.
To save her father from becoming an orphan.
Hey, she's spying on you. Clearly justifies kidnapping.
Crack is an expert old man puncher and little girl robber.
Morally,
Why are you gonna say it that way?
morally justified kidnapping.
One doesn't sound that bad. The other sounds really fucking bad.
It's clearly
Don't forget
weird.
about the woman beater. You know, kind of woman bit.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all
Not to
will
throw crack in
continue.
there was, but.
Y'all will continue on your way. You and Ismark will continue fighting your battle when we get back. And we return to the wrath of the woman who previously paralyzed you. Who I believe
Come on, you know there's another concentration spell you want to cast. I mean, I don't know what she has.
there is not. There is another spell that she wants to cast, though.
There she came.
She manifests a cursed, dark, magical simile of a dagger at your side
She's the cleric.
and attacks.
Oh fuck.
She got spiritual weapon.
AC's 15. They got advantage.
Dagger. I don't know what that would be.
Lucas' spiritual weapon is a dagger.
Yeah, I don't know where it goes.
I think the god is Strahd, technically.
And that's a dagger.
I guess. Well, what else would it be? A set of fangs?
Sword.
A sword? Strahd isn't wielding a sword yet.
I thought he had.
No.
He has a
in the
full sword on
stories.
him. Oh, in the stories, yeah, he has like a sword, but so far he's just fought us unarmed. He hasn't used a weapon.
Mostly spells.
Inflicting 13 damage to you.
And rip and tearing.
Well, he doesn't need the sword.
You're rolling crit damage on all that, right? Okay. 3 critical hits.
Oh, paralyzed gives free critical? Oh.
That's what paralyzing someone and having a rogue hit them is just. That's so much
You
damage.
can't move, you can't speak, you automatically fail strength and dex saves. People got advantage against you. In any melee that hits you, or an attack within 5 feet of you, but I just roll melee because that's what I'm gonna do. It's a critical.
Because he can't.
There's another one.
Save.
No. Oh,
At the end of your turn.
yes, actually. I was about to skip over your turn.
See, not 2.
Technically skips, but
15?
you were able to dig deep and muscle through. You are freed.
No longer able to do sucker punch.
The man
First.
nearest you, however, shakes his fist. You'll not be free of the majesty of the devil so easily. And I want to wisdom saving throw.
I'm sorry.
Fuck
That's
you,
funny.
guy!
That's so funny.
Fuck you, guy. 14.
It does not work. You feel the
Nice.
power attempt to take hold, but it's not good enough. This guy's pale in comparison to the magics that you've witnessed before, ignoring the part where you were gone. That's just
It just caught me off guard.
it's not fair. Yeah. It then becomes
Sasha's turn.
Ismar's turn.
Let's wait. Let's find it. That's brown.
that. I already did mine.
Want to pay?
Fucking traps. Hey, I got the quality I paid for. It's nothing.
Ismark slashes into this cultist, the woman, once again, and is able to dispatch her. Vitality. Not available against his blade.
Sorry.
As she falls, the other people go. They witness this woman fall, and the remaining cultists do not stop their assault, but begin to chant amongst one another as they act. He is ancient. He is the land. One of them is casting a spell upon Ismark. Ismark gets scrunched a little bit, but then is unaffected. Holds his blade fiercely as they continue. He is ancient. He is the land. Another one casts a spell. You have some flame racing towards you. I want a dex save.
Oh. Danger signs.
12.
Yeah, that's
It's a little close, but you managed to avoid getting scalded by the same dark, fiery energy. Another one goes. This one, being a little more vigorous than the others, steps to Siguror. They all chanting, "He is ancient. He is the land."
My AC is 17 now to gain my shield.
Yes, that's true.
This cultist lays a hand upon you. Your skin beneath his hand begins to split and bleed. For 12 damage. The remainder of people are insistent as they remark, "He is ancient. He is the land." Meanwhile, the group manages to come to a ransacked manor. It looks worse than it did in the child's head, for whatever that's worth.
And when I was looking at mine, I saw which is in the basement, right?
Yeah. Some type of basement or some dirt and stone walls.
Check for the cellar.
the kitchen's ass. Where's this from?
Right, it's the cellar.
The character I'm thinking. She. Turns and says it's out back.
Alright, let's go.
You walk around and find some cellar doors. They're not hidden. In fact, they are open.
I will rush down
Ooh.
with the others.
I'm gonna check for traps first.
Sure.
I do not think we have time for this.
Yeah, let me tell. 24.
Okay. You begin checking for traps. While you do so,
No, somebody has to hold her, so who's gonna do it?
somebody what?
Has to hold the shot. You said no.
when you give her up, Irina volunteers and gently takes hold of her. It's more like firm hands on shoulders. I think the child might be able to escape if she wanted to, but it's not for whatever reason. As you are searching, there comes a voice from the cellar. Someone out there? Just a moment. Just a moment.
I'm gonna ready an action so that when whoever reaches the front, I'm basically gonna have drawn my gun and put it right under their chin. So I'll in the process of drawing the gun, and now just as soon as someone appears, I'll put the barrel up to their.
Did you already go down the stairs?
No, I'm waiting up at the stairs because he wanted to check for traps.
Okay.
That's why I was like, I don't think we have time for this, and he's like, make time.
Jesus.
So yeah, basically prepare an action to put the gun under their chin. I'm not gonna fire, but I am gonna threaten.
While you're checking for traps, you think you hear the same voice say something really low. Eventually there's a man who comes into view. He's got loose fitting clothing on him, and I guess you whip the gun out at the last second because the stairs are up and you're at top.
Yeah, basically I'm pulling it out from behind my back.
But he doesn't get.
I can roll a stealth check if you want.
Nah, it's fine.
Okay.
It'll be an approximation to his chin because he doesn't get super close to you. He comes, I'm gonna say within 5 feet of you, and he very obviously carefully picks his hands up and he's walking up. Oh. You must be some of the travelers. Hey, your pals are in trouble down there. You're friends with the big one with the horns and another guy looks like a local.
You just wandered by, happened to see it, and were coming to tell us. I suspect.
Oh no, not at all. They asked to be escorted here because they were going to barter with some of the. There's some not so great people here, but they wanted to barter for rations. I told them it was a bad idea, but they said they could handle
them
themselves.
to Strahd cultists.
I'm not sure if they're Strahd cultists. Just a little unhinged. They have daggers. I kind of agree with the guy. He could probably take care of himself.
Move.
I'm gonna knock him out.
Any moves? I'm gonna want an attack roll.
Yeah. Oh, if he's not acting, can I roll his advantage because I'm not ranger? Or no? Do you want to attack?
I mean, combat hasn't started.
How'd you get it?
Yeah, not for me. Anyway.
I'll say sure.
And not with him.
Because it's just sneak attack again.
So when you say move, he starts to move
No, this
will
will be extra funny. I'll say move, Crackle punch him in the face.
Not you!
I got points on the hit.
That super hits him. He starts to move, and then Craig just super quickly lashes out, and in a flash, the dude's down.
I will say, I suppose that works as well. And I'll move forward.
You move forward.
Sahara will fly forward a little bit to give me kind of an advance, but he'll stay up, in the raft. He'll just try to stay out of the way of any enemies, but he's going to fly forward to give me a lay of the room, and I'm going to come in gun blazing. In that, I'll use a bonus action to cast Arcane Weapon Fire and load in a +1 musket round, and one of these fuckers is getting a nice hole through their chest.
You come down, and you see a cellar. You see some tracks in the dirt that go towards a door in the cellar. Some of which are fresh, some of which are pretty old. It seems to be a well-traveled walkway. However, as you advance, 8 skeletons claw their way from the dirt and muck and like rise as you like are going off the stairs.
Alright, well let's fight these fucking skeletons then.
I will need initiative.
I'll blow you away.
Does alert give you one or the damage?
Nope. It's my pickle dick. Do I not have it anymore? What the fuck? David, do you have my pickle dick dice?
I don't believe so. No, I don't.
Huh.
What does it look like?
I thought I put on my dice list. It's green and purple. Huh. Strange. I hope I didn't leave it somewhere.
What did
9.
9 for the Sasha Mister? What about
14.
Crack got 14? Who could forget Irina and Cassie?
Oh yeah, we have another mage now.
Huh.
We have a lot of spell power to this group. Not as good as we were hoping, but
Probably not.
Well, hey, this is the first fight I've seen him in. So.
no, I just mean I like more.
Same. Too good. Just can't deny.
Alright, let's fight these fucking skeletons.
Skeletons. Just going to grab another one of these to make it a little easier.
Makes sense.
Oh, yeah, the door was right here. So that works.
As your comrades fight cultists within, you fight the dead without.
Really wish I was fighting those cultists.
Yeah.
They would want to be fighting you too. Preferably alone.
Does Sasha know that, I can take it.
Yeah, they don't. They're like, one guy versus us? We could probably get it done.
Oh, they so could not.
I don't think they could take any of us fighting themselves. Well, paralyzed.
But both me and Crack. Ironically, they got the one person with bad will saves. or wisdom saves. I have a +7, Crack is a +9.
At the zip.
Crack is a +9 to his wisdom save now.
Oh, like we hit me with intelligence. Or charisma.
And how many of them are going to have illusory prison or phantasmal killer or some shit like that? Well, they both got added to the Bard spell list.
I don't know
One
what
skeleton attacks listed first. As this one. And it attacks Sasha.
Alright, I have an 18 armor class and they have disadvantage due to the icon of Ravenloft.
Did I really bring the child down here? Oh, yeah, because there's no skill.
I don't know. She might have. I'll think about it. She probably did. And probably lets go over. The skeleton lashes out, not with a bony hand, but a dirt encrusted blade. It does not reach you, however.
Oh, sorry, would it have hit a 16? Because my gun is two-handed technically, so I wouldn't have been holding onto the staff. And I have to hold onto the staff to get his armor class. Okay. So, they have to hit a 16 with disadvantage, not an
He did not. It then, if I'm correct, and I do believe I am, becomes Crack's turn.
Really? Which one attacked?
This one.
Darn. I'll go attack the Hershey Kiss because it hasn't done yet.
Very well.
That 22 probably should hit.
It does. Look, but it does.
Plus
D6 plus 10.
Yeah. Except you do.
15. Oh, no.
15?
Yeah.
That is enough to destroy it.
Really? Okay.
Oh, you're gonna tear through these guys.
Alright.
They are grisly in visage, but quite feeble compared to what you've faced so far.
They're probably just regular skeletons.
I'll move up to the Starburst then.
Very well. Dauntlessly, you shatter one and move on to another.
I got 20 to hit on this one.
That also hits.
Oh, he has his favorite ending undead.
12 damage.
You then strike that one for 12 damage. You see, like, cracks rip through it. It is not dead yet, but, like, it looks almost as if it will fall apart.
Attack. Yeah. I got a 23 to hit. Yeah. 7 damage.
This next strike is enough to easily dispatch.
Are nunchakus still a weapon choice, or would they basically just be a flashing club?
Or what?
Nunchucks. Because I know they've taken out a lot of weapons.
I don't know.
5th edition, I don't know. Having torn through 2 of them, it becomes a skeleton's turn. In particular, this one. It notches an arrow from a moldy quiver on its back, fires an arrow at you.
This would be a 19.
It does not. The arrow fires, but to little effect.
Nice.
Defense is too strong. Too strong by far. It becomes Irina's turn. She releases the child, prepares to attack. Goes forward and then attacks. Yes. She attacks and displaces a few bones and a jaw, nearly killing this one. It then becomes Sasha's turn.
Sarah's gonna mark the one next to it. For me, I'm going to shove the gun up under its head like I was gonna do to the guy, and I pull the trigger.
Right?
No, it's a D12.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's a gun. It should really do a lot. That'll be your fire.
Fire. To destroy all of you. Done. Does an 18 hit?
Yeah.
Okay. 7 plus 6, 13, 14. 14 damage. should also note, sound of a gun going off is very loud if that affects the other combat
It
enemy.
takes like 300 feet. It's like Thunder Wave, but louder.
It's loud. I'm not sure it has an exact mechanic, but they're loud. Probably everyone in here is like, what the fuck, man?
It's like,
They do hear it. They typically hear it a little bit later, though, because you weren't that close to when they got here.
Okay, fair enough. And then I'll load in a normal bullet after, because I don't need plus bullets on skeletons. But it was already
Quite
loaded.
loud.
And then I will move back here.
I think that was Sherry.
We shall see.
There are 2 skeletons that advance. One upon Crack, one upon Irina. I'll resolve Crack first, because that's the one who's going first. It slashes out, but swings wide, missing.
Bummer.
Another one attempts to attack Irina, but is equally unsuccessful.
Cool.
It then becomes Casimir's turn.
Casimir cast Fireball. Casimir, no!
Casimir, yes!
I think he has it on the spell list. So he's going to be a general touch.
Chain light.
Oh, whoops. Sorry, I don't touch it. It's a D6, not a D.
Not bad.
Oh, the arcane one.
Yeah. Oh, that was a D.
He fires a number of magic bolts, casting magic missile.
So, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I've been led to believe that for Magic Missile, you actually just roll the d4 plus 1 once and just apply it for how many missiles you do.
Really?
And I know on the surface it seems like, oh, why does that matter? Isn't it the same thing? Well, it came up specifically because of the Bard's new buff to magic damage. Technically, that means if the Bard gives an inspiration dice to someone who casts Magic Missile and they apply it, it applies to every missile because you technically only do one roll.
Huh.
So, just to let you know, Magic Missile is supposed to be rolled 1d4 plus 1, and then you
every
just
bolt
multiply
is
that
that.
by that amount.
Alright.
But it makes the Bard's new buff make Magic Missile kind of ridiculous, because you could be like, here, have this d6. You got a 6 on all of them, but that's 18 extra damage.
Okay.
Pounding into and destroying this skeleton.
I kind of like
I'm
it.
still going to double check it, but
Yeah.
I was told that that's how it works, and I was like, that's
That,
surprising.
that might come up in the other game, so yeah.
Yeah.
That definitely makes.
Well, you use the Wand of Magic Missiles, so.
Yep.
Another red dead.
It makes sense and simple, and I like it. But I
It
think
attacks.
I like all the dice being rolled.
There's potential to lower the amount of damage.
Or heighten it.
Or heighten
If
It
you get that
swings
full, that's just 15 damage for now.
It swings out. But no bad.
Bummer. For them.
For them. Meanwhile, I do believe it's Sigurd's turn. The enemy that had higher initiative than you is dead.
Okay.
Hey!
Seeing the people, and I know what they are, and they're chanting.
You want to roll the values out?
I am going to, as bonus action, activate my new feature called Giant's Might, which makes me grow large, advantage on other checks, and my dice do more damage. And I'm also going to be doing Intimidate. We have already defeated, rebuffed your master once. We will do it again. If you have any reason to live, surrender now. And grow large.
You grow to an incredible size and chastise them with your harsh words. Are you rolling Intimidate?
I'll try. I get a bonus to it due to the one of the runes I got. That's a 15.
No, that's not bad.
Your attempt gives them pause.
Just make me take those 4 squares. It's 10 by 10 would be a large creature now.
Your attempt gives them pause. But there is one, a young boy, who starts the chant back. Do not let his words shake you. Our master is ancient, and he is the land, and he will prevail. He is ancient, and other people kind of ease into it a little bit.
He is not thus far.
It then becomes someone's turn. An enemy's turn.
Okay, that's
Man, we keep coming to the split fights a lot. 2 sessions in a row.
The enemy whom has stabbed you before, harmed you before, this one jams a finger skyward because you are now large and barks at you, "Shrink!"
Oh!
I want-
Motherfucker!
Now, out of character, if it turns out this is something that you can't choose to end, then I would rule that this can't work and wouldn't have you save.
The giant's might has the wording is if you are smaller than large, you become large.
But does
I
it say
don't
anything
think
about
you
it
stay.
being early?
I don't think you stay large, and it I keep these effects for 1 minute.
Okay, that sounds like you can't choose to end it.
Think.
I can look if you really care. I have the UA up.
Yeah.
Nah, it sounds like it can't work.
Yeah, I mean,
So don't worry about it.
it's not concentration, otherwise you lose it when you rage, so.
Oh, I thought he was casting reduce.
No, he's casting command, and command
He's
you
using
can
command
enter.
effect.
Hmm.
But I'm not going to have you save because it sounds like something you can't choose to drop even if you want to.
Yeah.
So even if it
I
works,
don't think so
it's
either.
not going to do a thing.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. It's a new feature, so
That was his attempt. It then becomes Ismark's turn. Real big. Moves up. Makes some attacks.
Okay, I'm done. Thanks. Sorry.
And with 2 hearty sword swings, is able to dispatch another one of the cultists.
Nice. Good job, Ismark.
There are 2 that remain. One moves to attack. Another will also move to attack.
I was here. He was here, correct?
Yeah.
Attack of opportunity.
Nah, it's not gonna move.
Well, I mean, he could move here and provoke. Well,
Nah,
this
he's
is
gonna
a-
stay. He's gonna
large.
stay and harm you once again. But the first one who moved is going to strike out at Ismark. Actually, no. It is going to attempt to restrain Ismark once again.
Oh, trying to even drop his sword.
He casts a spell, and unlike the last time, this time he is successful in paralyzing Ismark. Ismark restrained by an enemy, while the other enemy that is nearest you extends a hand unto you once again. And once again rends skin and flesh for damage. How much damage?
I don't know. Tell me.
Yeah, it doesn't say you can end a creature. So
16. 16. It is about this time that there is like a little bit of sound from the other side of the door, but you're kind of focused on other things. Meanwhile,
it's my turn now. I say
He got that feat.
I'm a werewolf. I'm an old world darkness werewolf. I can spend rage to take my turn whenever I want. And then I spend Gnosis to do something.
What?
Geonosis.
It's not G. Really?
Yeah,
That is, like, purposefully wrong.
it is also Crack's turn.
They're not called genomes. They're just gnomes.
I was thinking like a Star Wars planet Geonosis.
Oh.
23 to hit.
I wasn't thinking about pronunciation.
23 to hit.
That is more than enough.
16 damage.
16?
Yeah.
With a resounding strike, another one falls. Hopefully permanently.
Alright.
Maybe a month.
I'll move up to the kiss. One part of this.
Okay.
I mean, have you ever met one? Maybe that's just our pronunciation of what they are.
24 to hit. 14 damage.
14? What'd you say?
Yeah.
You move up swift like the wind and swiftly dispatch an obstacle.
I'll go to two trolley range
You cannot be stopped.
God damn it. That was a 20 first. Oh, I got 11.
This one is not a hit.
Yeah.
You maybe get a little too in the moment, just get swept away. So, thankfully, you're fighting foe that probably won't take advantage of it. Depends on how well he does next, or rather, how well your comrades do next, because it's Irina and Sasha's turns, and then Irina will go first. She's gonna take an attack,
Okay.
and then Sasha will go. She is able to successfully strike and harm the skeleton in front of her. Nearly dispatching, but not quite. Now it's Sasha's turn.
I'll play cleanup. Being up close.
Mario, no, lightning bolt isn't necessary.
Funny. Does a 25 hit?
Yes.
Okay. 5 damage. Low rolls.
Oh wait, you were casting,
I was shooting my gun.
and you shooting.
This one.
Okay.
I was playing cleanup.
Even with that, yeah, I wasn't super sure what you meant. That is enough.
Cool.
As you shatter the creature.
Alright, so one of these. And that's my turn.
If a ranger had a gun, would all their bow stuff apply to using his gun?
I see the wizard clean up. No, it actually gets to take turn.
I don't want to spend spell slots. Firebolt doesn't add anything, so here I can do 2 damage. With this, I minimum do 4.
No, it makes sense.
So
It's like how I'm never going to add Firebolt to Squig's cantrip sheet because I have a Wand of Firebolt, which gets a bonus to damage.
Casimir assaults the creature. Okay. He doesn't want to, but for a moment he needs the safety of behind two of you. Because they're semi-resilient. Two casting fault. It's a little excessive, but
He doesn't have cantrips?
cantrip probably won't kill it like in one shot. Wait, cantrip scale. They might. Never mind.
Just saying.
Oh, I forgot. I thought it was just 8d8.
No.
And he's seen you guys. He launches a bit of flame that manages to sear the face of the final skeleton in my.
No, he has to defeat whatever you roll into the d20 is how much damage you'll deal with your spells.
No.
Oh, d10s. One right there.
Successfully managing to dispatch the final of the skeletons. In the meantime, only slightly misplaced in time, it becomes Siguror's turn.
Well, they made their choice. Hack and slash.
Yeah, kill the father.
Cool.
I'm going to be drawing the sword and that one. Slash that one while activating rage.
Kill the father and become your dad.
Roll the dice, Ed.
15 to hit.
That is a hit.
8. Uh, 14 damage. Making that one surrounded. And I will slash at this one with the second one.
Yeah, I heard you.
Almost. So 28 to hit.
Damn, most certainly hit.
And
They are not wearing protective clothing. At least not very much.
14 for 14 damage for that one.
Alright. You slash out at one, giving rise to your ancient ancestors.
Oh!
You slash at other, harming it as well.
Sorry, the first one takes an additional 2. That one takes an additional 5. Due to growing large, I had an extra d6 to my damage, which I forgot.
It takes what?
This one takes an extra 2. This one takes an extra 5.
If someone casts a large reduce on you, that'd be funny.
Yeah! Oh. Oh.
No, I'm saying it large. So you get double bait.
Oh, if they cast enlarge. Okay. I thought you meant like use reduce from then enlarge reduce.
I just said the name of the spell, which is large reduce. But if you got double big, so you're just like, yeah! Oh, yeah! You just become the Kool-Aid man.
This one
That'd be
casts a
hilarious.
spell, but he casts a spell upon himself. A shimmering aura surrounds him, and he then moves away from you.
He casts Sanctuary.
So you can take your attack of opportunity if you like.
Or shield thing. It's hard to do which.
I guess they both kind of would look the same, but
They would look very similar.
that is a 24 to hit.
To you, anyway. That's a hit.
Sasha has Arcana. He could probably recognize it.
That is 15. That's 20. 20 damage.
Why are you rolling a D8?
Longsword. I'm using the longsword, not the war spear.
His attempt to escape you is his downfall, as he's killed.
He can choose not to kill, right? If he chooses to.
Well, yeah.
My knowledge is these are followers of Strahd, and these people are just taking advantage of the people here. I'm killing them. They're evil. I don't know what's going on in the outside world.
You see that dumb joke in the
Siguror Orphan Maker.
War makes orphans.
Widow Crafter.
Ismark takes a couple swings at this cultist, but they're a little too wily for him. And managed to evade. That cultist then. Then also casts a spell similar to his comrade, is surrounded by a shimmering aura. The final one simply manifests a spectral black dagger like one of their companions did before and has it attack you.
Alright.
And your AC is what?
17.
It
Unless
does
being
connect.
punched reduces it. I don't think it does.
In older editions, it might have. Not right now though. As you are cut for 9 damage. There's something that sounds like a small explosion that happens out where you came from.
There are more.
Perhaps. Yeah, maybe. Okay, actually, no. I'm gonna go one more with you and then you guys can come in. Because you are a little spiced.
I'm gonna find any fucking cult. You want her dad to die, that's why you're doing this.
No, I was describing you as not completely in sync. I could never possibly screw something up in a session. It just killed me. Some doesn't make sense. It's your turn.
Oh, apologies. I will swing out at him. Or that one. With a 28 to hit. And... Christ, nice, come on. It's a 20 for damage.
That is correct, Tom. You swing out and wound that cultist significantly.
Then... Making him surrounded. I'm large, but I don't have reach. Damn, I actually can't reach that one. Oh, I'll attempt to use my bonus action to hammer and horns him back, so I can get to that one, because that one's paralyzing.
He tried to.
I thought he was successful with his second try.
No. His hammering horns. Is it a save?
Yes, it's a strength save against mine, which is 8, 12, 17.
He is unsuccessful and is hammered.
Knock him back 10 feet.
Also doing some damage, doesn't it?
And take a swing at that one.
Doesn't it also do some damage?
No.
Okay.
It's just a movement.
Then go for it.
It is a 24 to hit. And 9, 10, 14 for damage. On this one. because that one is surrounded.
As it is surrounded, another one is hammered into. Not with your horns, but with your blade, being further harmed.
Ow. That's gotta hurt.
It then becomes Ismark's turn. Makes a couple of attacks.
Smart place on Black Razor.
Is successful. One of them.
What? The fuck did you get that?
That's a good question.
I told you we would defeat Strahd together.
How? You can't hurt Strahd!
Yeah, that's true.
Black Razor would be the worst weapon in Barovia.
Swinging, slashing,
Yeah.
and defeating this one. Then becomes the one that you hits turn. Heedless of all those that have fallen around him, he attacks nonetheless. Commanding his spectral weapon to attack, he does so. But this time, unsuccessfully, as your defense prevents it from happening. Meanwhile, outside, a group of you have successfully dispatched a number of skeletons.
The kid's gone, right?
Yeah, once released, they can grab that those stairs. Yeah, no, I was thinking about something else.
The door. I will hold the gun.
Open the door.
You open the door, and you open the door to see a room populated by a number of things, though the most important things in the room are a larger Siguror, a number of like what appear to be dead townspeople, and one more townsperson who is like scowling and chanting, "He's the ancient, he is the land."
Does he look like the girl at all? Like, is there any resemblance?
At a glance, not really.
Yeah.
Maybe he's upstairs.
Maybe he's dead.
You
and
also
he makes
see
the
maybe he's also-
shitty.
Ismark, sword drawn, who like turns, sees you.
Does any of the
Take him alive.
is there any of the cultists that are down look like the cool girl?
We have to like
Right.
get close and like look him over. But you can't. Ismark just is slightly confused but nods. What do you think?
Yeah, it's your turn.
I opened the door. I figured out.
No, I meant like you going to respond.
I'm just gonna turn, look, and then nod.
As far as turns
Unless,
go,
yeah, unless it's our turn.
crack
again.
open the door.
I figured I'd take my action. Actually.
That's use an object. That's a free part of your turn to open the door.
Well then, fine. You can do some stuff if you want.
Punch him.
Run in there and punch that fool.
You can also do some stuff if you want.
Well, it's not my turn. See, he goes first, and then I read it then.
And then, sorry.
21.
That's a hit.
8 damage.
You strike and fell this young man, who appears to be previously injured.
Yeah. Cool.
If you might.
Oh, I'm totally jolly, man.
What is this?
Dropping rage. Still being large because it lasts for about a minute. We went to the supply shop, tried to buy things. They said they were missing a lot of what they needed. They also implied that there was a group that seemed to be amassing required materials. Came across a man who claimed to know where those were. This was the group, followers of Lady Watcher, seeking revenge for their fallen mistress.
We met a young girl. She said her father was one of these men.
Where's she now?
She ran. We were attacked by skeletons in the other room.
Irina apologizes. I'm sorry. I thought it would be safer.
It is fine. Hopefully the man that was spared is her father. If not, then
Did any of them look like her?
I shrug. If not, then the father can take her in.
Same character also.
Regardless, it is no concern of ours. The deed is
Siguror,
done.
you got so big, you even know.
Magic seen fit by the gods above granted to me. And call upon the might of giants.
I didn't know you could do magic.
It is of a particular kind.
If it is giant magic, then it would be rune magic, yes.
Yes,
I know such things.
stonecutters.
Casimir says, I don't like this place. We should be quick to take what we need and leave.
Take what we need, give the rest of the townspeople. They seem to have been taking supplies from the town. And
They
amassing
should
it
be
for
returned to the
themselves.
father. He will distribute them. We do not have time to waste. We must meet back with Octavio and Esmeralda. Then we must go to the Amber Temple.
Has the item been found?
Yes. He means the dress.
No, Casimir is curious but doesn't actually ask.
Oh no, I noticed the new face. I'm not saying fucking shit.
Well, it's not new. You've met Casimir before.
Probably I thought you were the only one that went to go meet him. Like everybody was left at
No,
the
when we all
camp
went,
and
no.
you separated yourself.
When we all went to the Vishnani camp the first time, Casimir was the first one who met us.
Oh, yeah, that's
He
right.
was the elf who approached us as we were
I'm
walking.
pretty sure you met him as a group and then later Sasha like hung out with him solo to like study stuff.
Right, okay. Right.
Don't
Alright.
worry about it. Either way, he seems to be an ally. You have stuff to look at and faces to identify. We can do that next time, and we will. I hope that was cool. If not, no backsies. I am artist David Harper on Instagram and Twitter as always. And as always,
I am Mario Vilas. You can find more of me at Let's Camera Edition on Twitter, where I speak for some of the people some of the time. Additionally, every other Monday, you can find me on the Tainted Lands channel on Twitch, where I play, hopefully Luca by this point, but perhaps an entirely different character. And obviously, coming December, I will still be running that game for Fuck Cancer Roll Dice. So, drop by, donate some money to a good cause, watch some people have giant monsters, friends. It'll be cool.
sounds cool. If there's anything you guys want to pitch in, that would be the time. Otherwise, we'll see.
No, other than, fucking stay safe and amass supplies because of the PG&E outages. I'm pretty sure they're going to be far more rampant.
I hope the father's okay.
I've also had someone ask me, Mario, what is monsters and other childish things like? And a good way of explaining it is imagine Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, but Wilt would occasionally go rabid and tear someone in half. And that's basically monsters and other childish things, so check it out. It's cool.
So it's similar to the episode where the teenagers were making imaginary friends and putting them in imaginary friends.
I didn't see that episode. But,
Yeah.
probably.
Alright, until next time, we'll see you.
Bye!